Hello, I'm Tracy Todd, the Executive Director of the American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy, and I'm happy to bring to you the second quarter AAMFT Scorecard. Before I begin, I want to say congratulations to our newly elected commissioners, Dr. James Billings and Dr. Karen Quick. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to our profession. The second quarter for AAMFT was very exciting, highlighted by 2 White House invitations. At one of the White House events in which I was attending, I happened to run into a representative from Google, and we were sharing stories and about our mission and what each of us wanted to get accomplished by attending this event. When I mentioned that we had a foundation and that we had tried for a grant through Google, she looked at me and said, "I think I can help you." Well, 2 weeks later, we got word that we received a Google grant for AdWord campaigns, up to about $10,000 per month. This was a very exciting turn of events as a result of attending a White House event. The second thing I want to highlight that I'm excited about was AAMFT's first endeavor into a paid webinar, and that was the DSM-5. This was a very popular webinar, and we sold out both events. This is exciting because AAMFT staff learned a lot about how to produce and post-production tasks and hassles. I will be upfront in terms of creating a webinar, but it was good for everybody, and the results were overwhelmingly positive from those in attendance. A third highlight was a historic turn of events in which CAMFT, the California Association for Marriage and Family Therapists, and AAMFT partnered with Applied Policy to study the impact of cost and savings benefits for Medicare Part B. You saw numerous communications about this, and it is still something that we are very proud of at AAMFT. I'd like to now draw your attention to a line item in the scorecard on reserves. You will notice that our reserves moved from 122% to 127% over the second quarter. This fluctuation is due to 2 things. First, the economy was very good. The stocks performed well. The second is that as an association, our expenses run in cycles. And so there are a lot of expenses that haven't caught up yet, which will also move the reserves down a bit. I also want to talk about what is a healthy reserve number. That's a legitimate question members ask. ASAE, which is what we benchmark against, and that is basically referred to as Association for Associations, has a benchmark of about 63% of reserves is a healthy benchmark for associations. AAMFT is going to strive to maintain 80 to 100%. because we have a lot of unknown variables that can still influence our finances. For example, we still have the Texas Medical Association lawsuit down in Texas that we have to participate, and that is a very expensive endeavor. Another example is just what I was talking about in our partnering with CAMFT with Applied Policy. This study is very expensive, and fortunately we are paying 50% of that cost, but that is still a very expensive cost, and that will need to be coming out of the reserves. Another area that AAMFT has not spent a lot of attention on is research and development. You will find that in the coming months there will be new projects. For example, an online university or a learning management system in which we will have courses offered through webinar format. This takes a lot of money to research and develop and to produce the initial phases of such an endeavor. Another thing you will notice over the coming months is a branding campaign in which AAMFT has invested in hiring a company to help us with our branding and our image to the public and to members. So while the reserves look robust, rest assured there are things that are lurking that can quickly diminish those reserves. Hence, AAMFT will always try to maintain a reserve well above 100% until we get research and development costs brought down and we are sure about the outcomes of litigation. I hope this has been informative, and I hope you take the time to review that scorecard. And please, if you have any questions or comments, leave those in the AAMFT community. Thank you very much.